A Ukrainian fiber-optic drone, concealed in ambush, suddenly emerged from cover and launched a surprise strike. As Russian soldiers traveled in their vehicle, the drone descended rapidly and hit its target with high precision, disabling the vehicle on impact and halting its movement immediately. A Ukrainian FPV drone spots a Russian soldier walking slowly along a dirt road. His leg appears injured, and each step is strained. From above, another drone approaches, silent, steady, closing in. It locks on and descends. The blast sends the soldier into the grass beside the road. Fatigued and motionless, he remains there. Minutes later, a second drone appears on the horizon. It scans the area, locates his position, and adjusts its course. One more descent, one more strike. In this war, the sky offers no refuge. A Ukrainian FPV drone spots a Russian soldier walking across a green field, carrying a thermal cloaking cover meant to shield him from aerial detection. Startled, he pulls the cover over himself and looks upward, scanning the sky for the source. Moments later, another drone descends, slow, deliberate, and precise, striking the ground nearby with pinpoint accuracy. Another Russian soldier witnesses the blast and moves forward unsteadily. Exhausted, he collapses in the grass to rest, unaware that danger still lingers above. Moments later, a third drone approaches, hovering briefly before executing a precise strike. Once again, the field falls silent. A Russian soldier spots a Ukrainian FPV drone closing in and raises his rifle, firing in desperation, but the shots miss. The drone circles calmly, precise and deliberate, tracking his every move. The soldier turns and runs across the open field, but the drone accelerates, locks on, and strikes with precision. The impact knocks him to the ground, leaving him still and unable to move. Moments later, a second drone appears overhead, scanning the area before delivering another controlled strike. In this war, the sky never forgets what it has already found. Three Ukrainian soldiers travel in a civilian vehicle along a remote road. Up ahead, a UAV lies in wait. As the drone advances, they stop and quickly dismount, taking cover behind the car. One soldier raises his rifle and fires in urgency. The drone closes in, and the vehicle erupts in flames. The soldiers rush forward, checking the aftermath. Fortunately, their essential gear had been unloaded moments earlier, nothing critical was lost. After the major operation launched by Ukrainian forces against Russian military zones, Russian troops responded with a heavy assault on Ukrainian positions. Incendiary munitions were deployed against a Ukrainian trench, but Ukrainian soldiers quickly reorganized and held their ground with determination. The Russian attack ultimately failed, with losses reported among their ranks. This moment once again highlights the strength, resilience, and determination of the Ukrainian defenders in the face of Russian aggression. A Russian soldier was neutralized by an FPV drone operated by Ukraine's 414th UAV Brigade Birds of Magyar. The drone executed a precise strike, igniting the surrounding area and leaving behind a trail of smoke and scorched ground. A Ukrainian FPV drone spots two Russian soldiers moving cautiously along the forest's edge. From above, another drone locks onto their position, circling to confirm the target. The air remains still until the drone begins its descent. The soldiers notice too late. They raise their rifles, firing upward in alarm, but the drone is already closing in with precision. It dives between them, impact follows. Smoke and dust rise along the tree line as the echo fades into silence. Russian motorcyclists attempted to take cover in a nearby building, but the structure was ultimately destroyed. Pilots of the 34th Separate Coastal Defense Brigade identified and neutralized 2 Russian motorcyclists who had sought refuge from FPV drones in a garage. Ukrainian forces carried out a precise dual strike on the position. According to a statement from the 34th Separate Coastal Defense Brigade of the 30th Marine Corps, the 2 individuals drove their vehicle into the garage and prepared for an incoming drone attack. Ukrainian pilots then employed the double-touch tactic. The first drone struck the entrance, followed by a second that completed the operation. The Marines emphasized their continued commitment to effective precision drone missions. Ukrainian soldiers continue to employ all available resources to defend their territory against enemy forces. The 137th Separate Territorial Defense Battalion adapted a civilian vehicle to function as a missile launcher. The improvised system was successfully used to engage enemy targets. This has become a symbol of the Ukrainian military's determination to counter Russian forces. While a standard rocket launcher system costs millions of dollars, these troops are achieving significant results using improvised, low-cost solutions, successfully targeting enemy vehicles valued at millions. A group of Russian soldiers was detected by drones from Ukraine's 40th Coastal Defense Brigade as they advanced by boat toward Ukrainian defensive positions. They aimed to launch a surprise raid and push Ukrainian forces out of the area. However, along the river route, they were caught in a devastating mortar barrage, shattering their plan before it could unfold. The failed attempt highlighted Ukraine's vigilance and precise defensive coordination. Panicking and unsure of what to do, the Russian soldiers eventually abandoned the boat and tried to escape on foot. But Ukrainian FPV drones hunted them down, striking with precision and neutralizing the fleeing troops. Caught off guard by the mortar attack, the soldiers were left disoriented and powerless, turning their failed raid into a complete disaster. Eventually, the Russians decided to flee into the nearby forest, but Ukrainian drone operators were relentless. First, they destroyed the abandoned boat with a precise strike, then launched FPV drones that hunted down the fleeing soldiers one by one. 5 Russian troops lost their lives in this disastrous raid attempt, a failed operation that ended in complete defeat. Ukrainian FPV operators don't just target personnel, they also systematically disrupt enemy logistics. In one case, an FPV drone discovered a Russian Kamaz truck abandoned by the roadside in a pine forest. In another episode, an FPV drone located a lone Russian soldier attempting to take cover behind a tree. The pilot demonstrated precise control. In another mission, a strike targeted a fuel tanker attached to a Russian truck that was moving dangerously close to residential areas. Shortly after, another FPV drone tracked a Russian soldier who had left his vehicle.